I think it was a 2-0 as well.
It might have been a 2-0. And then, of course, Boss win the whole thing. That's my team. That's why I had to mention it. But it is very interesting that Legacy's kryptonite seems to be fluffy aimers. It seems to be a team that we were, I would say, pretty hot on at the start of the season. They're not top of playoffs like these two teams are. These two teams should be. But they are still a team that will be competing and be a potential dark horse. We are into the second map at long last. It is Dust2, as we mentioned. And it is M80 on the defense. Legacy on the offense. Smoke flash for Nekiz and a flash on Lato. Sin gushed down on Catwalk early. The IGL taking a head hit. Dooley's smoke for Lake. That means no kit in play. And a mid to B split for Legacy is shut down, at least in the early goings. A triple stack B paying off early. Paying off even more. Sin drops Sudseen. Lato and the Keys, the final one's in. Lato finds one, spamming away. Keys right at his heels as well. This is going to be an uphill battle, especially with the bomb dropped in the opening. Headshot through the wall on Delato. He'll get one, but Sin and Slacks, the duo from Germany, find the pair in response. M80 do what they couldn't do in the first best of one.
Yeah, they won a round. So
one round.
There we go. It can literally only go up from there. So, there had to be some improvement from that last map. And they get that improvement early on. I will need to see a lot more out of them before I begin this. But again, good start, and that's what they need. MP9s, M4. Might not get off that down. Interesting choice. Tech 9, Drill, and Scout. So the Scout had already got, I think it was what got a tag on Swisher, although I'm not sure entirely. And it's already been spotted and pressured too, but Legacy are trying to goad M80 into these aggressive fights, trying to force M80 to push in towards top middle. M80 don't want to take the bait. They're going to wait, and it's a good decision from them. And their B lean after getting upper tons control is starting to be dismantled as they have information. It is not that B bomb site.
Not that B bomb site. Good information. They'll rotate around. Bolster this A site. 3 here between Catwalk, CT, and site proper.
And then look at Lake's position too.
Lake is all the way top middle. That's the SMG, or one of the two, I should say.
And Swisher on the long flank.
Yeah, it's a timer for Legacy. They gotta go. Throwing some utility and smoke for the cross that keeps Sin out of the picture, at least directly, I should say. 8 open the smoke, doesn't find anything. They're posted on the corner. 30 seconds left. They have to make their play. Flash in. Chaos, but Lake finds 2. Sin a 3rd. And in fact, what was potentially chaos is in fact a rather clean mop-up. Sin finds the final. Only one player going down. That is, I believe it was a FAMAS that's not recovered.
Yep.
Not the worst thing to drop. And Legacy, no bomb plant. Is it going to be on a full save in round number 3? Likely just Glocks in hand. Maybe a Deagle if they really, really are feeling confident.
Yeah, the Deagle out for Nekiz, the P250 out for Lato, and actually another one up. 3 Deagles. So a decent investment here. And I do like the idea to go for stuff, and it's actually the Glock that starts it off with a good flashbang from Lato. Sin and Slacks, though, getting a 3-piece across the pair. Just Lato and Bartin, last one standing. Now just Lato, Deagle in hand. Spotted, naded, and removed. No real trouble for M80 the first 3 rounds. And now they'll finally get tested here on Dust2 as the op is out for Sudseen. Legacy are buying in. And one of those MP9s has already been removed from the field of play. Slacks has a big green of his own. And we're actually going to get a gun round here in round number 4 of Dust2. A Galil for Nekiz, but there are no players lacking helmets for M80, so that will not come into a factor there. Little fake flash.
Lacking a helmet.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. But it is the op, so
yeah, they have to make a compromise.
He should be fine. Yeah, I don't hate it either. It's potentially round changing, but it really shouldn't be.
We'll see. He's top mid, I believe, a tree if I'm not mistaken. And M80 showing us more cohesion than they did in that first map, boosting up Catwalk, playing long as a solo, but he was set up by his team. M80 looking good in the early goings of this one. Legacy getting control with the rifles early, and Slacks, I believe, legged by the op of Sadzine. If I'm not mistaken, he's tagged down to 11. Not sure what else would do that much damage in one fell swoop.
Maybe a wallbang shot.
That.
It's concerning, though. The op's already down low. There's been no return damage and no real information for M80 as to where Legacy want to end. They're audibling this to lower tunnels up towards B. Maybe a B split as two still sit towards double doors. Swisher's up close to B tunnels with the MP9 in hand, but he has to be careful of his mid as well. Lake's keeping an eye on that, and Nagi's actually tagged and flashed, finished off by Lake, and this is going to clue M80 into what exactly is happening. Good Molotov by Swisher, good flash as well. And so, 2 picks for the price of none for M80. Legacy are going to save here, as there's no real recourse back into this round. The timer's up, and they want to keep the op and the AKs in hand for the next round.
Seems to be M80's turn to win a map, perhaps. 4-0, still early goings, but goings are good. Clean one in this round. It's been relatively clean throughout. Already 8,900 in Slacks' bank. Legacy are going to try to force buy around these saved weapons, but it's kind of going to be awkward. Wouldn't hate a timeout right now to talk this out. Because they lose this, it's going to be 5-0. If they don't get the bomb plant, they'll probably be 6-0. That is a rather disappointing start, no matter the side on Dust2.
He spots one around the smoke, but Sin's able to win that duel. Takes a dink and manages it well. Swisher spotting tunnels, drops a smoke, flashbangs to stay alive. As Slacks comes in to support, spots Dumal coming through the doors. But Swisher has fallen. Slacks trying to hold, has help coming through as well. Rotations are outside of the B site. It's not gone down yet, though, and Slacks is playing with fire and in fire as his shot does not connect. Bomb can cross now safely thanks to the utility wall thrown down by Legacy. Safe plant for B tunnels from Bartin. As the timer starts ticking, just a Molotov left to delay, and that's been used. Smokes and a flashbang for the retaking CT side. A lot hinges on Sin pushing in through tunnels if he can get something going, or at least run distraction for the rest of the team to go through would be huge. Flash goes up, flash goes in, peeks come out, spots 1 and 1. 2 now going the way of Legacy, but Slack settles everything with that last pop shot. And German duo again, 4 kills across the pair, 2 for each. And the 5th round on the board for M80.
Sin's 9-0.
Yeah, he's having a good game.
The IGL working overtime. 153 ADR thus far. Legacy, I mentioned it, the loss bonus, they'll be compelled into an investment if they get the bomb plant. You can tell they already are. 2 AKs, 3 Galils. Not pretty, but it is dangerous. At this point, they really do need to whittle away M80's economy. It is still quite good on the CT side. The question is, what can Legacy do? Still haven't seen that timeout. Probably be useful about now. Slacks getting comfortable and getting aggressive at this stage up lower tunnels. Swinging out, spots so many on Catwalk. Good flashes from Sin to support. Finds the opening. The information's already there. Sin needs to get through the smoke onto ramp power position. There's a smoke as well. Bartin, individually though, eclipses the IGL. Puts him down for the first time in this map. Brings us to even footing. 4 versus 4. Lake over the smoke though. Finds 1. And it's back to an advantage for M80. The issue is the bomb is now down. Swisher at 1 and 2 on the jump up. Very unexpected. Sadzine was holding for that exact play, leaving just Lato alone. Bomb is planted for him, but he's already gushed. He gets 1. He's very quickly traded by the native Swisher. Stellar round for him. 3 on that one. And a 6-0 continued flawless for M80.
Yeah, nice flawless start for M80 on Dust2. Seems like both teams really don't like that T-side start, and if they have to start in yellow, then they just don't like it. Ironic, because both of their colors at least yellow or yellow adjacent. And M80 having a good time so far on the CT side. Just have to be careful not to get overwhelmed by a pistol rush this round, as it's Tech 9s and armor for Legacy. And that is a buy that can always be deadly. An AWP and an AK to defend what looks to be a B set piece. Nade going in will do a tiny bit of damage. 14 damage across 5 players. Not really much at all. That nade will do a little bit more. And it'll soften up players for the headshot from Sin's A1S as he watches out, spots the crosses, dodges the flashbang. Elects to not toss in the incendiary, though, and leave Lake to toss more utility in. That one, though, a little bit too early, doesn't do the damage. And so with a $112 to go, Legacy still dawdling around, waiting it out, figuring out what they want to do with these pistols, burning through a good amount of that CT utility. But they have to pass the hurdle of the guns, of the firepower. And it looks to be a B split in the end. Smoke's going down in middle, but the bomb is going to go through upper tunnels. And there's 3 people here to defend. 1 in middle, 2 on the side proper. And the side hit still hasn't happened yet. Sin's able to catch 1 first. Slacks chimes in for the next. And a second of his own third on the round before he's domed by Lato. Lake through the smoke. And a dink on the Lato through the second smoke. Swisher falling puts him to bed. And a 7-0 lead now for M80 on CT side. Dust2. And a timeout finally drawn away from Legacy.
Timeout drawn away, but at this point the half's already lost. M80 up 7-0. Again, long overdue. This time on Legacy's part rather than M80's.
And look at Legacy's Dust2 T-side stats, Nate.
It's stellar. It's a 61.9. Whereas their CT is a 50-50.
Yep.
I knew it was good. I didn't think it was that good. Now, technically, M80 are slightly less favored on the T side, but they're still above 50%. And only 0.8% behind their performance on CT side, so you'd expect it's about the same overall. And right now, the same would be a 13-0 if it got that far. Legacy, a very solid buy, at least going into round number 8. A timeout to work with as well. We'll see what that does for their hopes and aspirations in this round. Very solid buy, though. Op and play, AKs across the board. Good utility, couldn't ask for more. M80. Still on good times, though. We are seeing some weapon charms. I asked you in the pregame if you thought there would be any. There's at least one on that AK. Just a fun little aside. Just up for wreck. Haven't seen this at all. It finds the opening. Molotov in will compel one forward. A second as well. Wreck is just dominating in this round. More than doubling his kills in the half thus far. 3 to his name thus far. Martin and Sadzin already, I don't want to say contemplating the save, but they might very well be. Martin, no Swisher might be pressing, does some damage, but he also receives some in kind. They're saving. The bomb is down outside long. Sadzin is looking for exits in middle because he knows M80 are going to be hunting. It's a very long time to try and save.
And it's not the first time Legacy have had to save on this T side as well. It just goes to show that they've been bashing their heads into a brick wall. Very reminiscent of what we saw from M80 on their ancient T side. And I have to say, Nate, I did not expect this when we got this series.
We expected them to trade maps. We expected a 1-1. We did not expect 2 potential 13-0s.
I wasn't going to say it, but...
We were expecting...
I was expecting
blow
close
for blow.
games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not this.
Swisher has him. Surely Swisher has him. No. He's in the gap.
He's going to go.
He tried to go for the fight, though. He's paired right about middle. Does he get away? No. Slacks does him in after time as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's after.
$50 in the bank for Sadzin. Timeout means nothing. And, well, now the question is, what do you do? Your teammate has $50 in the bank.
Half it, I guess.
I'm left at a loss. I don't know what to say.
I think this series has essentially rendered both of us speechless. And I don't think that is something I ever thought I would say.
It's supposed to be the treat of the season.
Yeah, they're just running it out now, and in the smoke, Swisher's still alive. Slacks is helping him out, maintaining the charade as the smoke, and Swisher walks out of it. 1, 2, tries to go to the sidearm, and Slacks will bail him out for the last. Oh my goodness.
9-0. No bomb plant.
There's been, what, 3 maybe?
2 or 3. We saw one planted for Cat. We saw one planted on B. So at least 2.
I feel like I'm forgetting one, but it might just be 2. Goodness gracious.
It's going to be really funny if our prediction of splitting maps ends up at a 13-0, 13-0 split maps.
If that's the case, Nate, I don't know. I don't know anymore. Oh. This has been an experience tonight. This buy is also an experience. A Scout, a Galil, and AKs. An okay amount of utility. The boost is dismantled. Lake peeks in, spots out, backs up. And Legacy are all somewhere in the mid-vicinity of the map. How Swisher has that right on the end of his barrel?
No, he's gone. It's one of theirs.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot those.
Well, Swisher's gone. Opening pick for Legacy.
So our openings go the way of M80 in the last map as well. Didn't end well for them. 4 versus 5. Wreck perfectly supported by that smoke. Couldn't have been better, in fact.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, they just immediately turn tail and just go catwalk instead. It's going to be a cat play for A. M80 pacing their utility well. One player on site. Sin has a Molotov to
30
delay
seconds.
as long as possible. He has an AK as well. Here comes the XX. Smoke up catwalk, make that 2. Player CT running in to support. I believe it's Lake.
20 seconds.
20 seconds. Time is of the essence. Drop CT. Caught. 15 seconds. Sin. Goose not challenged. 12 seconds. They yet to make their move. The scout walks up, tries to plant, doesn't clear Goose. 8 seconds left. Bomb is on the dirt. Lake finds one. Lato a transfer, but it doesn't matter whatsoever. Rek gets the trade that wasn't even required. The round's already over. Martin saves a Galil because he realizes that time is gone. 10-0. M80.
10-0 M80. They got gifted that round as I'm not sure what the game plan was from Legacy there. They waited until under 10 seconds to even attempt to plant the bomb. Sent the bomb out. No support. Lost the bomb. And that's the round.
Sin's feeling confident in bursting smokes while he's in the middle of the open.
You're up 10-0. I think it's warranted at this point.
It's time for the IGL to ego peak. I agree.
He's been good, too. Tied for top of his team. Also, Naki's 0-10.
Where's our player to watch? He's at least top of the team.
Yeah, he is. But he'd be second from the bottom on M80.
Oh, yeah, he's not doing great.
No, he's not. But, I mean, also considering he has more kills, or as many kills as the rest of his team combined, it kind of explains a lot.
It'll paint a picture when his stats, which will be below average, are still the best his team has to offer in this map.
This is so red, too.
Which is ready. Gets one. Almost gets the second. Slacks is on catwalk. Ready. Transition down middle could just get them an opportunity. Lake only good for one. The op immediately drops over. The nade is very good as well from Sin. Swing out the smoke. He can do no wrong. 2 for him on the spray transfer. Leaves Sad Scene on a sad scout. 1 versus 3. Caught by the op. He exchanges blows. The issue is one fires a far bigger bullet. 11-0. With no bomb plant. No win with the rifles and slash, or I should say rifles slash investment. Legacy are going to be on a cobbled together buy yet again. Galil for Nakis, Galil for Dumao. Galil for Lato. Galil for Bartin, and Galil for Sadzin. All 5 picking up those weapons. lacking a utility here and there. The issue isn't the utility in the team play. The issue is that the individuals simply have not woken up. Sure, they're losing track of time every once in a while, but they're not doing their due diligence. They're not clearing things out. They're at least going together. It's been an utter collapse from the T side. They're clumped up in spawn. They have one player sitting in CT. That's Lato in a corner watching long, I guess. Probably waiting to line up a smoke, if I had to guess. Yep, there's the throw.
Yep.
It's for B doors. It's a fast B doors smoke play. 2 players are already here to defend, though. There's already thrown utility. 1 for Lake. 2 for Swisher. 3rd for Lake and Swisher. They combine. Zine finds 1, leaving just Lato in the clutch 1v4. Lake is not the one to find it. Sin is 12-0 from M80 to respond as we hit the halftime break.
Well, we're back here, and if you watch the first map, you might be looking at the score saying, hey, that looks familiar. Look at the team logos, and you might see it's completely different. Boggs and Pineapple Phillips with you for this adventure, as it's a BXX from Swisher, but it's just a bait. Long pushes out now. Nakis and Dumao and Lato all getting headshots, all shutting down the M80T side, which might just spoil the joke, Nate.
Dude, they're going to harsh it. I'm just going to say it. I was so hyped for a 13-0 rebuttal to a 13-0 start. And they're going to harsh it.
It's not over. It's not over yet.
It's not even close to over, technically. Let's take a Herculean effort from this imported duo. Sin, the first found. Okay, good start. Second spotted. Third on the site. The issue is the USP's at range.
Well, they have an opportunity to close the gap. They can pick up a USP down as well. They've given up the A site. Legacy this is a prime. Oh, there's only 8 rounds in that USP. That's a decision to make.
He's gonna go with it though. He only needs 4.
Why are they splitting though?
They're overthinking it.
Again, we saw M80 overthink the entirety of that ancient T side.
M80 overthinking, but also Legacy. Legacy are running all over the place. Both teams are racing to see who can burn the pot faster. Dumal finds the first. Sin racing out is heard. That should be the round. Good gush onto Partine, but the duel's one. Okay, it's clean. Sadzin gets the trade. Dumal did not want to swing and try to find a trade. That was potentially worrying there for a moment, but his team rights the ship. And Legacy do not give us the blessing of 2 13-0s. Instead, it's going to be at least a little bit longer. M80 want to race to finish this.
M80. They overthought that pistol, Nate. Plain and simple.
Everyone overthought it. Issue is they just started overthinking when it was too little too late and not enough players left in the server. Scout for Slacks is the only thing invested. That might be a force buy. Not the case.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this either. Unless Slacks is just going to go back-to-back scouts. But even then, I still don't know how I feel about that. Nade gets a kill. Rek gets the assist on his teammate. Slacks trying to get something done with a scout. Can't. The mid-round is not going to be too thought out. As it's Glocks and a P250 and a scout for M80. Glass cannon scout at that. It's just maybe getting a kill or two if you are M80 and getting to the next round with guns. Unless somehow this turns into a 13-1. I don't see that as a possibility in this situation. And
no, Slack saying these duels isn't possible either because he has no Kevlar. He gets aim punched into oblivion.
And Dumal's got a freebie here.
There it is. It's the scout. Should be the round. 2 on catwalk, both down below 20. Sadzin spots them both crossing. Actually, the plan's gonna go down. Priority number 1 does at least get done. The question is now, can they find some damage? 1 and 2. The jumping MP9 for 1. Partine, the final. Clean and flawless for Legacy, but they do allow a bomb plant that gives M80 the capital required to get a very solid buy into round number 3 of this half. Legacy taking it 1 round at a time. Chanting 12 is all they get.
I think it's a little too early for that, Nate. A couple more rounds, and then we can start the chant. Also, if you know the Brazilian Portuguese way to chant that, that would be greatly appreciated.
Oh, I don't.
I don't either, so. And I'm not going to risk a Google Translate on that. I don't trust it.
I don't risk Google Translate on anything.
Also, I know that I would butcher the pronunciation anyways because Portuguese has a very interesting way of pronouncing a lot of sounds and words that I would not be able to do properly. And Rek tries to take that fight and does not execute so properly. Half blinded, but not really enough to impact that significantly. That's a dry fight. He needs to at least do some damage and doesn't even do a point of damage in that spray.
He tried to dodge it, couldn't quite get away far quickly enough, and then he took the duel nonetheless. Bit foolhardy, especially on his lonesome. 4 players remain. Looks like Cat's the name of the game. All 4 are here. Nice flash over. 2 players ready, though. And a 3rd available if required. I actually think better of it. Throw a smoke from mid to B. Minute left, still plenty of time. The Keys, though, wins the second duel. Lake is the one taking it dry outdoors. 2-man advantage secured for Legacy. They're not looking to let this one be quick and clean. Looking to at least make it a little bit more scrappy. Re-smoke for CT cross. 40 seconds left. Sin flashes in and throws a Molotov for space. They will now commence for the B split. Sin and Slacks, the ones middle. Swisher in tunnels. And Dumao is ready to swing off contact, ready to swing through the smoke at a moment's notice. Martin Carr spots one. Swisher and Slacks. Actually, Slacks team kill Sin. Swisher drops Nikis. Martin drops Swisher, and Martin doubles down thanks to the assist from Dumao. 3-12 for surviving. Legacy showing they have at least a little bit of gas in the tank in the second half.
A lot of bit of gas left in the tank as they're about to tie, or not tie it, but take it to 4, unless M80 can win this on nothing but pistols. Tech 9s, armor, double flashbangs. Deagle. And a mid-rush here, up towards Cat. Smoke's down. Molotov to counter. M80 gonna go through that anyways. Elbow fight 1-for-1. That's not enough for Lato. And Nekis is getting reinforced here. But that's a great Deagle shot from Swisher. It might come tumbling down here in this 3-versus-3. Bomb down. Mission accomplished. P250. Sadzine sticks his neck out too far. And he's punished by Sin dropping down and taking another ego peek. The in-game leader of M80 fighting like a prime rifler. Dumao and Martin, the last two alive, trying to bring this back. One for Martin, or for Dumao, and only one is Martin. 1-versus-2, blindsided by Sin with 3 on the round. It took 3 extra rounds, but M80 pretty much give Legacy a taste of their own medicine and return the favor with a 13-3 victory.
Yep, a one-sided affair for a one-sided affair, but both teams are coming out of this looking bedraggled, looking frazzled, looking worse for wear, I would say. We said this is going to be a tone setter for playoffs, which start next week, might I add. We said that both teams should look solid.